Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and let me just tell you, I got a nice little smorgasbord of figures I'm going to be reviewing this afternoon, and way, just completely opposite ends of the spectrum. And we're starting it off from the Walmart exclusive Beast Wars reissues line. This is basic class Iguanus. Now, I got this figure from Hasbro Pulse. I think on Tuesday they had a big drop and they actually had this figure in stock, not for pre-order, which is kind of cool seeing as how Walmart, I don't even think has it listed yet. Walmart.com, I should say, and I don't think it's been showing up in stores. So yeah, now I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think Iguanus is a heavy retool of the alligator Megatron figure. That was one of the first Beast Wars figures released. It was in a two-pack with the Bat Optimus Primal and a VHS tape, I think, of the first episode of Beast Wars. And this is actually, that said, if you remember, that was what established that originally Hasbro's story was going to be. It was actually the Optimus Prime and the Megatron, now in new forms. But as we know, the story went a bit different. So there's that. But yeah, this is a very simple figure, a nice looking iguana. I'm not 100% sure if the color is accurate. The mouth open, it's got a nice little painted tongue there. Um, the mouth really doesn't stay closed. I think that's part of the transformation gimmick. Um, and there's really not much to the articulation of beast mode in this form. Keep in mind, these were like one of the sub $10 figures, and now I guess because they've had to re-engineer the basic figures like Rat Trap and Pterosaur, that it's now being sold at the deluxe price point, even though it's much smaller than a traditional deluxe Beast Wars transformer like Cheetor. Um, but I can tell you now, and I'm not sure if this was the case for Pterosaur, but Iguanus, the packaging is smaller too. Because for a while they're the basic figures like Rat Trap, same size card as say Cheetor, just look a lot smaller in the packaging. But anyway, this is almost like a prototype one-step transformer. Basically what you want to do, grab the tail here, bring it up. That will flip everything up into place. And then what you can do is flip the feet down. They will just hinge there. Uh, the iguana legs, the rear legs, you just want to fold all the way back. They will kind of friction into place. Unfortunately on mine, this one is a little on the loose side, so it's not going to stay. With the arms here, you want to flip the front paws back as you bring the arms down. That will reveal the robot limbs. And there you go. There's that for the transformation. And now, of course, the tail is removable. You just pull it. It is on very tight, but it is removable. The instructions say just pull it right off. Friction's right in there quite nicely. I wish there was an easier way to do it because I'm afraid I'm going to break it. And then what you do is just flip the tip of the tail around. You get this nice blaster. Like I said, this really reminds me of the alligator Megatron. Pegs into the hand there. And there you have your Iguanus armored up and ready to terrorize. You might have a couple issues with back heaviness just because, this is a small figure and you have all those gears centralized right here on the back. But it does clean up very nicely, especially once you remove the tail. They have a small backpack and stuff. But yeah, kind of cool figure. So to get it back into its beast mode, remove the weapon, fold that tail back around, snap it back into place, and then before you start pulling on things, flip the arms up, the fists up, fold up the elbows. A lot of this, you'll have to adjust once you're in the actual beast mode, just to make sure everything's lined up and copacetic. I really wish there was a way to fix that leg, but I don't know. So when you have that done, pull back on the tail. That help with push the head up into place. Once everything's snapped down, make sure the robot legs tuck underneath and are sort of hidden by the torso and the beast legs. And there you go. Now, I've always admitted that I'm not the biggest Beast Wars fan, but these figures, I've always said I've never really had a problem with these year one and a half Beast Wars figures. It's when they got a little too organic-y and asymmetrical that I kind of lost interest. And had I been buying toys at the time, I think I would have picked up a lot of these basic figures because I love the one-step transformation and the weapon storage. Um, so yeah, if you see this figure at your Walmart and you don't have an Iguanus, pick it up. It's fun. Yeah, it's a non-show character, and I know there's been a lot of complaints about Hasbro making the non-show characters as opposed to focusing on show characters. But I think it's basically what molds they have access to at the time. So, and again, let's not forget, um, even by the point that Beast Wars came along, which was 96, 97, toy companies really weren't thinking about demand 10, 15 years down the road, let alone, from, the children who grew up with these toys wanting to, satiate the nostalgia. So I think a lot of these molds were not kept well. But it's a fun figure. Now, the price, it is, I think, around $24.99, you know, tax and shipping, that can jack it up a little. So you may not really want to pay that much. And to be honest, I don't know what a vintage Iguanus goes for. I'm going to assume it's a little bit more than that. Um, so maybe you want to wait to see it in hand if it goes on sale or clearance, which unfortunately a lot of these Beast Wars reissues end up doing, since a lot of collectors don't want to pay that exorbitant price, and there isn't the nostalgia for some of these more obscure characters like Iguanus, like K9, like Wolfang, and stuff like that. But I'm happy to have it, and unfortunately, like I said, I don't have a vintage one to compare it to, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Um, and that's about it. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I always appreciate the views, likes, comments, and subscriptions, help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you, help me to help you bring figures like Iguanus to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, I know times are tough right now. We have inflation going on. We're on the cusp of a recession. If you can't swing the $1 a month or $12 a year, I more than understand. Your views are thanks enough. Patreon is a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. So that's about it for Iguanus. We will see you